I just woke up pretty much, so I'm brewing a coffee. How's everybody doing? Today's, I was going to put a video out this morning, but I just watched the video that I finished editing last night, and there's some tweaks that I want to make to it. So I'm going to hang on to it for a little while, maybe another day, or maybe I'll release it later today. So in the meantime, I just thought I'd do this, because I was going to do this yesterday, but anyway. Just gonna pull this up on my computer so I can see the chat feed a little bit better. And we got some shower advertisement. All right, there we go. Morning, guys. There's the next video coming out is going to be his van related, so that'll be pretty cool. There's a bunch of stuff I was doing on my van as well, so it was just kind of a few things around here that I was taking care of. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Dutch Fly Fisherman. Glad to see both of you guys in here. Dan the van, Dan, good day to you too, man. Yeah, Craig Betts, good morning. Steve Warren, you're asking if I come to the Ukraine ever, or the UK? No, I haven't. I've been to, I'm not sure if you mean Ukraine or if you mean the UK, so I haven't been to either of those places. The only places I've really traveled to was Mexico and Myanmar. And yeah, Mexico was, I went down to, what was it, like Tulum, where they have the cenotes and stuff. I went swimming in some of the cenotes and just kind of checked out that area, hung out at the beach. It was a pretty cool place, so I actually enjoyed that trip down there, and had some tequila too. You gotta have tequila if you go to Mexico. Myanmar was actually a pretty cool trip. That was, it's also known as like Burma, but the proper name is Myanmar, so it's right beside Thailand. And that was a pretty fun place. It was an eye-opener for me. That was my first like foreign travel experience. But yeah, I'd love to do some more traveling here soon. Actually, I've been thinking about it lately. Anyway, I think I gotta juggle you guys a little bit. I'm making a coffee in the van this morning, so bear with me a little bit. I haven't got that ready yet, and I'm almost out of coffee beans. This too. I got to do my personal taxes. So some of you guys may know this, some of you might not know this, but I had like I'm incorporated. Being said, I'm going through the YouTube whole thing through a corporation status, which is much different from if you were to do it through too. So I got to do that soon, because the physical year end is up, so that's due. Anyway, Suzanne Burke, you're asking how my daughter doing. She is doing really good. She's super cute. Suzanne, she's doing really awesome. We talk pretty much like every 2 days or so. Sometimes we talk like on a daily, and sometimes it's a few days before. Like there can be 3 or 4 we talk. Like I do want to go see her, so I've been thinking a lot about that lately. Is it just buffering for me, cutting out my connection? Brenda Grundy. You guys, are you having any problems with the feed? Let me know. Like I could take this inside Nick's house, and then if I do that, you guys are having problems. It's okay. Let's see. What? Yeah. Sometimes what happens is I'm right beside Nick's house. It's right here. So my phone and my computer like to log onto his Wi-Fi, but out here it's not good. So yeah, let's try and fix this, guys. Sorry. Come on. You can do it. Forget the Wi-Fi. All right, it's better now? Okay, good. That's great. My computer's trying to catch up now because it's wanting to connect to the Wi-Fi too. I'm trying to get a connect through a cell network, which isn't on the same phone as this one. But anyway, I'm glad we got that sorted out. Sorry, guys. That little Wi-Fi mix up here at the house, it sometimes happens. And I'd rather not go into the house just yet because I'd hang out in the basement and it's kind of dark down there, as you know. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what I was talking about before, but I am making a coffee here, so I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna perk right up once I have this, so I can see it in my eyes. I'm pretty tired. I woke up at about 5 this morning, so I've been in bed for a while, and then I got up and then I was working on this video this morning, and I thought instead of releasing it today or this morning, I might release it later today. I'd just jump on and do a live because I feel like it's been a little while, and I was going to do a live last night, but then I decided I was kind of tired and I just left it. Oh, you guys, okay, let's see. Let me catch up here. It's better. Okay. Sorry, I was low on the back on the chats here on the thing here, so it still said we're buffering. Come on, work. I can't see your chats, guys, right now. I can see them as they come up on my phone, but my computer's trying to catch up. So bear with me. I've only been doing this for over a year now, so I should have this sorted out. Stephen Warren, you're asking if I play the guitar. No, I don't play the guitar. That'd be pretty cool though. I think maybe like when it comes to music, I did have some friends when I was in my 20s and stuff that were really into making music. And at that point I was somewhat interested, but I wasn't totally ready for it, so I just kind of left it be. And that was that. How are we doing for speed, you guys, right now? Is it buffering still? Because my computer's not connecting to the data here for whatever reason. Looks like it's good. Sheila, you're asking if I'm gonna do a road trip soon. So as far as that goes, I've been thinking about doing something, and that something would be going over to the mainland here in maybe a couple weeks time and going for a drive to the Kootenays just for a bit. Hang on just a second, I'm just plugging in my phone here. I can take it with me a little bit. Let's see if I can get this thing in a different area. I'm still sorting out my internet, guys. So let's see. Personal hotspot. Turn that back on. This is the first time I've tried a live stream in my van at Nick's driveway. So this is pretty much something I gotta sort out, and I can't really sort this stuff out until I try it. So, greetings, MR. I'm saying greetings from Germany. Penny and Kentucky. Yes, I do look tired. I just woke up and I was up late, and I was also up early today, so that's just part of it. There was this really cute little bird this morning that was chirping away, and that's what woke me up. So not a bad way to wake up, actually, because it's beautiful out right now. Spring's out, the flowers are up, the leaves are coming out of the trees. It's really nice and warm during the daytime. So yeah. Oh, we're working again, finally. Okay. Guys, I'm gonna catch up with all of this. Yeah. There was a super chat in there. I saw it come up on my phone. I can't see it yet on my computer, so I just want to say thanks, whoever that was. Really appreciate that. And I guess I'm learning what this cell phone connection here isn't working so well, or actually the Wi-Fi wasn't working so well. Let's there we go. Get this going again. That was Michelle Skelly. Thank you, Michelle, for my next coffee. Appreciate that. Okay, I got it working, guys. It's up. It's good. Jared Jones, hello from New York. Hello back to you, Jared. Tony sees it's not letting me send a super chat. Yeah, I don't know, but it's open. It's live. I just got one from Michelle, so it's probably something on your end. Just keep playing around with that. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, well, you know, that's okay. I appreciate the thought, buddy. Yeah. Anyway, let's get this coffee happening. There we go. Cheers, you guys. Good morning. Oh, Michelle says she had to try 3 times for the super chat. Oh, that's interesting. Well, there's all kinds of technical difficulties this morning. Maybe Mercury's in retrograde. You ever hear that saying? When Mercury is in a retrograde orbit around the sun, apparently it's a period of time where all communications get kind of messed up. So you might hear some, you know, some people say that sometimes. Mercury's in retrograde. It's like a, I don't know, it's kind of like an excuse. It's like, oh yeah, Mercury's in retrograde, so and in this period of time, everything's okay if it kind of gets messed up in communications, but it might be a thing. I don't know. Jennifer Honkick, you're asking how the fermented veggies are doing. They're doing great. I finished eating another full one of those yesterday. So I got one left in my pot, and it's doing really well. I've got another tasting of it in this next video that's coming out, but it's really delicious. I think the next batch I'm going to do a little less garlic, because the garlic's really starting to come out in it a lot. And after eating it, I could really kind of taste it and smell it off my breath. It was quite intense, so I thought, yeah, next time I'm going to probably just put maybe a couple slivers in there, if any at all. Probably do some without garlic. But it was pretty good, and the peppers worked out really well too. The cabbage is awesome. So, Stephen Warren, have you heard of Saturn's return? You know, no, I haven't. I mean, it sounds familiar, Stephen. I don't know if I have heard of that. I haven't really followed like all that stuff too much. Yeah. But yeah, if you want to share, just share. Just go at Sharing the Wild and pop it in there, and we'll see what you meant to say. Oh yeah, we were talking about road trips. Philip Souza is asking, do I have any cross-country trips planned for this year? So, I do want to hit the road. I don't know where I'm going to go. Gas prices are up. I'm trying to be really lean with my spending and conservative in that way. Just because several videos back, I did allude to the fact that I'm carrying some debt and I'm working on paying that off. Working on Nick's van here is going to help put a little bit of a dent in that. I've also got some money coming in from my work that I've been doing with the yoga company for a while. So I finally invoice them, and I get to get a bit of money in from that. That'll help balance a few things out, and it's not going to balance things out, but it's just going to, you know, bring my debt down from where it is. In any case, when it comes to traveling, I'm probably, like, I was thinking I'd go all the way to Ontario and maybe even the Maritimes, but that might be a bit of a stretch on my pocketbook for doing that trip with the cost of gas being the way it is. So I might hang out in BC this summer and explore it. There's tons that I haven't explored yet, and there's a lot of places like I'd like to go visit and that sort of thing. So I don't know. It's we'll see. It'll be something. I'm definitely going to be hitting the road. Once I'm done working on Nick's van, I've got, and somewhere maybe in the middle, I'm going to do a little bit of work in my van right up in here. And then I got some work to do on the back brakes. I've ordered the parts for those already, so that'll probably be getting started on in the next couple weeks, I would say. And then the front end, I've got to do some work up in the front that probably, I don't know, I have to investigate that. So that has to do with my suspension and stuff up in the front of the van. In any case, I want to get all that stuff sorted out too, but I'm hoping by the end of May I'm out and I'm on the road, and I can spend the whole summer just making videos and being out sharing the wild and doing that. So I mean, that's sort of the plan. So that's it. Of course, if anything comes up otherwise, where let's say a trip comes up where I can go visit my daughter, then I probably jump ship and go visit my daughter, and then I'll take you guys with me over to Indonesia. So I've been thinking a lot about that too lately. Water Tree Muse are saying Saturn return is an astrological Saturn returns question mark. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Water Tree Muse. I'm not sure if, yeah, so Stephen Warren, he says Saturn's return is every 27 to 29 years, where Saturn appears in the same spot you were born. And it's an entryway to a new type of adulthood, new way of being. Okay, I got you. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, no, I didn't know about that, Stephen. I'll look into that. I'm not, I guess, you know, since I'm already like 40, so that's already happened to me. So anyway, it already took place. Yeah, I guess, yeah. There's also some weird stuff with all that, I don't know what you call that stuff. Astrology? That's what it is. Sharon Lewis, if you send dollars through PayPal under friends and family, you get 100% FTR. All right. I don't know what FTR is. I'm guessing maybe that might be American, but you're probably speaking to some sort of something or other. There might be something to PayPal and all that sort of stuff. And I got to work that out with my accountant. So for now, I've been setting up PayPal through my company account, which there's a ton of paperwork. It's really exhausting, and then it's like you submit something and then you have to wait till it goes, and then sometimes you have to go get a legal advice on something and then check that box or whatever, and it's a long drawn out process. So that's why it's taken me forever to set up my PayPal, and I really should just have a chat with my accountant about it too, and maybe have a personal account as well as a corporate account. I don't know. You know, my friend Chrome, Van City Van Life, he's got his PayPal set up, and he set it up as a business, but he's not incorporated, so he's doing it through him as an individual still. It's still easier to do it that way. When you're running it through a company, which I have, then it's totally different. But anyway, that's it. Oh, thanks, Tony. Really appreciate that. Tony sees. Cheers, man. Good morning to you. California Love. Joseph, are you working on your merch store? I need Sharing the Wild t-shirt and a coffee cup. Yeah, there is, that kind of falls into a bracket of a bunch of things that I'm trying to do with the channel on the side, and I've wanted to do it while I've been here at Nick's place, but I've been kind of getting caught up in a lot of different things while I'm here. You know, some of it's just my own pitfalls, if you will. So I tend to put a lot of stuff in my own way and take things on when I shouldn't take things on, so that I put certain things off. Putting merch together, getting a logo done, getting business cards even made up, which I find that would probably be really handy for me just in my day-to-day travels. And then, you know, a bunch of different things. Anyway, there's a whole list of stuff, and I haven't done much. I do a little bit, like maybe a couple hours every week. I'll put a little bit of energy into that sort of stuff. But yeah, I was thinking t-shirts and merch and all that sort of thing, and I think I'm staying away from it for the time being. But what I would really love to do is I would like to. You guys know I make my own shirts. On this one, it's not one of mine. They're in the laundry basically right now. So anyway, what I'd like to do is get a designer or some company to manufacture a set of shirts with the same patterns that I use, but do different patterns. So a long time ago, I was thinking about making clothing and starting up a clothing company, and I thought, you know, basing it off of a male body because I'm a male and I was just making clothes. Sorry, ladies, this is just kind of like how my brain was working when I was sewing, because I haven't made clothing for women before, so it's a different approach. But looking into the male form, there was like three different types of body types that I would see, and most stores will just sell to one body type. And it'd be really cool if someone made a pair of shirts and it was like, we're gonna have three sets of body types. And I forget what they are. They're like, I don't know, in the fitness industry they talk about it a lot. They got these funky names for like these body types, like a slim, you know, scrawny, muscular guy, and then sort of like a middle body type, which is more like me, and then more of like a blocky body type, so like that kind of thing. And so it'd be nice if there was like categories where you could buy this t-shirt that would fit into all of those different categories, I suppose. So that way, you know, if you liked a designer or something like that, you could go in the store and you'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna find something that's gonna fit, and not be kind of like, well, their clothing just doesn't fit me because it's made for this group of people, and you know that doesn't work for me, kind of thing. Anyway, that being said, coming around to making merch, it would be cool to be able to fashion some clothing for both men and women. I'd have to learn about the whole women thing. I need help on that. And I don't really want to get into clothing design per se. I'd rather just have somebody else do this for me. But it'd be cool to have the cuts copied over to a new t-shirt and then put some logos and stuff on it like that. So then it's a bit more than just some company that does a regular t-shirt like this one with a logo on it. You're getting something a bit more special. But obviously that's a huge undertaking. At least it feels that way to me. And I should probably maybe start small with a regular t-shirt company and then maybe work my way up to something like that at some point. Yeah, Stephen Warren, there you go. He's saying I'm a mesomorphic. Yeah, that's one of the names. So yeah, they got those kind of morphic at the end of the names. So that's what I'm talking about. Some fitness guys and stuff like that have kind of outlined them and stuff, and like I guess there's those three body types, and I thought it'd be really cool to see a company tailor their stuff to that body type. You know, at least if I was making fitness clothing, I would totally do that. I think that'd be really cool. Stephen Warren, what's your most passionate part of sharing videos? I'm looking for inspiration for myself. I guess that's a really, I don't know, it's it's really a creative outlet. Like it's something that I enjoy doing from a creative standpoint of view. So the filming is a little, and most of the creativity, by the way, is in the edit. So when I'm filming, it's different. I'm starting to understand more now what I am filming, and I've got a little bit of a like a chronological map that of a video from start to finish, and how that's looking in my brain as I film it, and that wasn't there a year ago, wasn't even there like a couple months ago. I started to learn that in that course, that film school I did with Casey Neistat. So I've been starting to develop that skill right now. But when I'm filming, it's not, it's kind of creative in the sense of like how you use the camera, what I'm trying to capture and stuff like that. And I find like it's usually like whatever pieces of interest that are going on is usually an element that I want to grab. So if I'm reaching over here and I'm gonna go grab like this thing of baby wipes or whatever, like I'm gonna stop what I'm doing and I'm gonna go grab that. Well, it to me, you don't have to capture all of those moments, but that's like almost, it's interesting to me. It's like I'm gonna go, I'm picking that up. So I'm interested in grabbing that for the reason that I have. And so if I film that, especially if it relates to the context of the video, then it's going to be just, you know, that shot is useful in a video. And so I'll spend a little bit more time grabbing these little individual shots like that. And a lot of it I just discard, I throw it all out. But when it comes to the edits, that's where most of the creativity is, and I'd say that's where most of the passion is too, is because I can really kind of play with all that stuff, and in some cases like move it around, whoops, move it around a little bit, and then you know, add music if I want or something like that. And sometimes like it's nice just to hear the sound of what's going on in the video itself and not have any music. So probably going to play a little bit more with just the sounds and a little less music in some scenes, but obviously have some music in others. So yeah, I'd say the editing is probably the funnest part for me. It's a lot of work too, though, by the way. Like I'll spend at least a day, sometimes two, on a video, just editing the video, but that's where there's a lot of fun. And as far as video ideas go, I get a lot of feedback from you guys. So I try to write down video request ideas and I'll put that in a list. And so lately I've been really a lot better at organizing that list. So I'm putting that together, and then sometimes when I'm looking for an idea, I can just go and look at that list and I'll be like, oh yeah, I gotta cover this one, so I'll do this. And I haven't done that so much on the channel up until this point. I've done it a little bit. Most of the time I just take you guys along for a vlog. So doing it where I do an intended video where it's like, this is going to be about the tools I use for van building or something like that, then that's going to be kind of a different video, but it's more focused on something that I feel like I can return back to you guys and you'll get a lot of value out of it. Like it'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like he uses this tool for this particular thing or whatnot. So I'm trying to create a little bit of value for you guys in that sense by making those videos. And I've got some other ideas with foraging for plants and stuff like that, which I haven't done a lot of this spring, just because I've been doing this van work, which brings up a whole other pitfall, so to speak. It's not really a pitfall, but I'm just occupied, so I don't have as much time to go out and spend time foraging and stuff. I'm a bit busy, but I'm going to go out and shoot some of that stuff too, and I want to share that stuff this year. One way or another, it's going to come out. Anyway, that's kind of that, I suppose. Yeah, the Brilene Van Traveler. Yes, please, something long-waisted. I hate it when my shirts come untucked. Totally agree with you. I hate that as well. Most shirts I buy in a store, including this one here, they always come untucked. There's plenty of shots where I'm in the video and you can see right down my butt crack because I'm bent over doing something. I see that, you don't, because I cut it out of the videos, but yeah, I don't like those. I cut my waist longer, my shirts. And then QPR Forever, gym clothing, very helpful for me. I'm a bit of a gym addict. I love reading that, buddy. I'm totally looking forward to getting my routine back on it in a gym, so I'm feeling that. Iggy Threadgood, thank you for the super chat. Listening to you in one ear, and Maria Bartramo in the other, who says blondes can't multitask. I don't know, how do you listen to two people? You're a special human being. First of all, thank you for the super chat, Iggy. But be able to like input two feeds, like one would be, I would think, I don't know how you do that. Yeah, I don't know. But I know you probably can. There's people out there that can do some weird stuff like that. Stephen Warren says he's editing while watching me on the iPad. Saves energy in my van and over a laptop. Oh, that's cool, buddy. Right on, man. So I guess you got a little channel or something. You got to channel yourself. Stephen Warren. Um, yeah. So let's see. Cherise Love, do you like to canoe? Would you mind seeing that? Thanks for the super chat, Cherise. I would, yeah, I do like canoeing. I haven't done it a lot, but when I grew up in eastern Canada, there's a lot of lakes and rivers around there, and it was quite common to go on camping trips and stuff like that with my parents and my aunt and uncle. And when I first got introduced to that style of camping, it was like loading up the canoe with the camping gear, and it was like paddling out across some lake to some little island, and we'd set up a little camp, and it was a lot of fun and learning through them how to paddle, do the J stroke and that sort of thing. Some real basics and stuff with canoeing, but afterwards, later I didn't do it so much on my own, but I learned how to paddle more effectively later when I was working. It was quite a number of years ago, but I was working for a retail company in Calgary. They're called Mountain Equipment Co-op, and at the time they had a really solid training program for their staff where we would go out with these guides and learn how to do these different operations, and one of them was canoeing both in flat water and white water, and kayaking in flat water and white water. And so I got to go through some training courses through that, learning how to recover and do self-rescue and rescue other people and that sort of thing. And for a while, like I thought about getting back into it. Out here, like I'd love to do it again. It's just having a canoe, living in a van. Like it's like, okay, well, logistically, it's something I got to work out. I got solar panels on the roof of this thing, and I don't want to take those off. Like that's a priority to me. So I leave them up there. That being said, it really restricts, not being able to put something up on the roof, or if I do make a system to put a canoe up on the roof, it's going to be blocking solar for that period of time. So kind of there's a bit of a cost or a payoff to it, I suppose. And then it's storing the canoe somewhere. So all that is stuff to think about. And I'm like, yeah, if it's going to be something that I got to worry about or store or something like that, I just try not to have that sort of thing, and sort of like live from a more minimalist perspective, I suppose. But I definitely do it again. I'm just trying to learn to live with less, and I've actually come to really appreciate having less and learning to live with less too. But I love canoeing. Like I totally rent one and go canoeing or something like that. Someone let me want to take it out for a paddle for sure. Yeah. Hi, Tennis Power. Good morning to you too. Yeah. Ohio girl, you're saying sorry, my super chats aren't working. You're not the only one, Ohio. I don't know why. I guess a couple people have had some issues with that this morning. Yeah, other people have tried 3-4 times as well. So I don't know what that is. Like, yeah, I have no idea, guys. It's all good. It's something's going on for a reason, so that's it. As long as you're not getting ripped off, though, like that would be not good. So Dutch fly fisherman, man, that's such a compliment. Joseph is the real man tracker. I like that show, man. I was living in, I think, where was I? I think I was in Calgary when I watched that show or somewhere. No, I was in Vancouver. That was a cool show. And one of my childhood friends was on that TV program. I was just watching it one day, and they mentioned the name of the guy, and I was like, his name is Dion White. And I was like, no kidding. Yeah, and so I watched this show and I got to see my childhood friend do the man tracker. And man, it was really cool to see. Anyway, so there was a little bit of I lost track of the guy, and there was a little bit of information about him in the television show, and so it just mentioned where he was from, and so I went over and I started doing some research, on the internet, trying to basically stalking him, and I figured out he was in where was he? He was in British Columbia, up the coast somewhere, some coastal town. I forget the name of it. And so I tracked him down. I called him up, and we had a great conversation, and told him some man tracker and stuff. And we meant to do something, and we never did. But he ended up having kids and stuff like that. So pretty cool. I don't know what to do, guys. There's a whole bunch of you saying stuff that the super chats aren't working. That totally blows. Well, yeah, I don't know. I could restart the live stream, you guys. I mean, if you want to put your votes up, just shoot a bunch of thumbs up, and I could restart the live stream. Maybe that fixes it. That's the only thing I can think of. The settings, it should all be there, and some live like super chats are coming through. So, yeah, Ohio girl says try it. That chat is super. Yeah, oh, Van girl, I haven't got PayPal set up. I was talking about that earlier. It's complicated. So, some people are saying the payment's not going through or something like that. It could be something with Google. Maybe if I restart it, it might work. If I restart it, then that means there'll be 2 little live streams going on. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, let's just give it a couple minutes there. I got a bunch more thumbs ups. If you guys want, I'll redo the live, and we'll see if we can get it kickstarted and working. Certainly, if you want to help the channel and me, then that's great, and definitely, that does help. So, anyway, let's just do it. I'm gonna boot off, and we're gonna start it again, because I'm gonna lose track of I'm gonna get into something else here, and I'd rather just get going again. So let's do this, guys. I'm gonna jump off. Oh, yet another adventure. Dude, you got to work, so there you go. Thanks, buddy. You got to pay for that piece of plywood. So yeah, it turns out, you're gonna see in the next video, we've discussed it, and we're putting a kick into the cabinet. So Nick didn't want to put a kick in there originally because he wanted to maximize all the space, and so I was kind of like, well, that's fine. So I'll go out and buy some more plywood. But he was like, wait a second, before we go do that, let's see like where your mistake was and all that stuff. And I said, well, this is it. And I said, the only way to really recover this is like, I can kind of build on top of this by like putting a little strip, 1-inch strip up in the top, and using biscuits or something like that. And some people even mentioned that in the comments, or doing a kick on the bottom. And I favored the kick anyways. And I was like, well, if you build a kick, you can house all your plumbing down in here too. And he was going to put it in the bottom of the cabinet anyway, but I was like, you can put it down the kick as well. And so we came up with a design that is going to house his plumbing and stuff like that. There's some shortcomings to it, and I suppose that's the part where maybe I might try to explain some of that in the video. So I might add some voiceover in that regard. See, I'm already on a tangent, you guys, so I don't know. Maybe we're carrying on with this thing. And it's just going to be what it is. So Anyway, there's a kick in the bottom of this cabinet, and I'll have some like secret compartments and stuff like that in there. Anyway, when I approached the cabinet and we were first talking about it, I was recommending a kick to begin with. So, Tannis Power, good morning to you too. You seem to be in the beginning of the feed. Are you still sorting out internet? It's absolutely fine. Oh yeah, okay. Tannis, yeah, you're lagging way back in the video. So, but it's good to see your chat in here, Tannis. So by the time you come around to this part, we'll probably be ahead of this. So you're a bit behind. But yeah, what you can do when you guys watch live streams is usually if they've already run the live stream and then the creator finished it, they've ended that live stream, you're going to kick on and start at the very beginning and watch it in chronological order. Most of the time though, if you click on a live stream, you should drop in right at the time where it gets going or it's live. Theresa SM, thanks for the super chat, Theresa. It's working for some of you guys, but not everybody. I don't know. I'm reluctant to start over at this point, you guys. Yeah. It's just going to mess up the flow of things if I do, and that's important. All right. So, Tamaz Kotwaka, you're asking. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing your name right, Tamaz. It says, hi, Joseph. I popped in and wanted to ask if you consider doing a detailed van tour or your impressive build out. Thanks, Tom. Yes, so I actually filmed a full van tour like several months back. I still have it in my editor, and I started editing it, and then I just stopped editing it because I got into some other videos at the time. I was kind of caught in a place where I felt like I needed to get those other videos out quickly because they lent themselves to the videos before, and so I had to do that. Anyway, I'm probably just going to refilm it and do another one, but I'm thinking at this point I might as well wait until I build this cabinet out over here, and so I'll probably do this van tour here this spring. So yeah, that's that. That's my thinking on that sort of thing. Stephen Warren, have you forged stinging nettle? Yeah, I have. They're totally up right now. I've seen them on the sides of the roads. I just like, I'm not super familiar with the lay of the land and sort of the Victoria southern part of the island, so I don't have any like nettle patches to go to. If I was over on the mainland, I know exactly where to go to, and I just go there and find a nettle patch and go forage for them. There's on the Gulf Islands, I spent some time on Galliano and Salt Spring Island back in the day. I've got some family on Galliano Island. I know a bunch of nettle patches out that way, so I was thinking, maybe I could go over there for a day or two and do a video on nettles, because I want to go and get a whole bunch of them. I want to dry them out, so that'll come. It's got to come. I got to do that this year. Yeah. Yeah, Tannis Power, you've actually started your morning before your coffee. I could never do that. But then again, I need my coffee intravenously. I get that. Some mornings I wake up and the first thing I do is I make a coffee, but this morning, not so much. And there's been some mornings lately, like I've gone by like a few hours before I had a coffee. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Stephen Code, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Happy Sunday from Montreal. Well, happy Sunday back to you, my brother. Thanks for that. Or Steph Code, sorry, Stephen. Steph Code, thank you. I think I called you Stephen, Steph. Thanks for the super chat, and good morning to you too. Yeah, Tamaz, just stick around. I'll have that van tour out in the springtime. I want to put a little bit more into it. Most channels that do van tours, like it's nice if the video is done really well. It's kind of like one of those big videos for a channel, so it's nice if it's put together right and it gets some traction, because that could work in getting me more subscribers, more views on that video, that sort of thing, which would ultimately be good at the end of the day. So I'm going to try and put something together that's really nice. That being said, I'm going to try and grab footage from all kinds of videos in the past to sort of maybe use in different elements of the video, but also just go over some of the van. And I'm thinking to do 2 van tours. So one's just going to be more of like this romantic, almost like Instagram kind of thing, where it's just like, here's the glossy van tour. And then the other one's going to be more like, these are the details. This is what I used here. This is the mechanics of this. This is the thinking behind that. That would be, I would say, pretty dry for some folks, but it would be really interesting for others. So I'm going to divide those into 2 separate videos. So anyway, that's what I got in mind. Van Girl, you're saying, Joseph, no one says what they use to clean their van the first time before their build. What would you use? Soap and water, some sort of soap cleaner? I don't. I'll show you what I use right now, and I'm not attached to it. But I bought this stuff, and I don't like the smell of it. But I use this to clean my floor, and I do clean my floor about once a week. That's it, guys. I clean my floor once a week. I mean, like, if I spill coffee, there's a little bit of coffee on the floor right now. Actually, this is dinner from last night. So this little mess here, that I can just clean up pretty easily. I'll just do that, and then that takes care of it. And, I'll call that done. So there we go. Put that in the garbage. So that's like a little spot clean, but I'll do a full clean on the floor once a week, and I'll just spray it all down with that 7th generation stuff, and I'll give it a good wipe down with a paper towel, and that's it. And I'll use that same stuff on my countertops, on the siding and stuff like that, anywhere, but a baby wipe as well, just for a little spot clean. That's yeah, someone was saying, is that a bird? Yeah, that was a bird. That was a seagull flying by. They've been really chipper lately. It's springtime, so there's tons of birds out there, guys. And I won't keep my van door open for long because it is chilly out this morning. But you can hear the little birds out here. They were whistling at just before 5 a.m. this morning. There was a really cool one whistling away this morning. That's what woke me up. So anyway, Frank Greenfield, yeah, I love the idea of your camera mount. In the van, Cruz was thinking of caulking around the dog bowl. I thought your magnet idea would work there. I guess you're talking about Van City Van Life. Yeah, he could maybe put kind of a magnet on his dog bowl or something like that. I suppose that would work. Who knows? Yeah, he's got his own system though for that. But yeah, the phone thing actually works really well. I feel like since I've got it there, from where it was before, I'll show you it. So this is what he's talking about. I made this little piece of metal and I screwed it to the top of my counter right there. And my phone, which you guys are on right now, it just sticks right onto that. And so then I can look out my window. It gives you a better shot, but it's hard for me to reach over to it while I'm driving. When it was up here, it was easy to reach to. It's up there, it's just out of reach. So, which is actually probably a good thing. But where it is right now, though, right up in the front counter, it's nice because I can just grab the whole rig as I stop somewhere and get out and film, the next shot or something like that. So I do like it where it is. Yeah, it was a pretty neat addition to the van. All right, I saw something in here about yoga. Half Grid Homestead. Doing yoga next to water sounds great. Have you done that lately? No. And then Mip and Bake, any plans and thoughts on future work back to yoga? So, yeah, so I'm not sure if you're talking about, well, one of you are talking about the yoga practice, and one of you are talking about me working back in the yoga industry. So I'll answer both those questions. The yoga, my relationship with the yoga industry and the work that I did with them is there was two sides of it. One was management of facilities for a yoga company out of Vancouver. And I operated a lot on my computer, on the phone, meetings, mostly just project management stuff. So there was that capacity of my job. And then the other one was going into a studio and actually doing some of the repairs and maintenance myself. Obviously, I'm out on the island. The whole industry's changed. The company that I was working for had to downsize considerably through the pandemic. And in that period of time, I lost most of my work with them. So that's kind of where I started the YouTube channel and got it going. That being said, I really want to focus on the channel more than anything else right now. So they're kind of coming back to life, I would say. And we've had some discussions about continuing working for them and stuff like that. And it just didn't make any sense for the amount of work that they had to offer for me to stage everything out of Vancouver and be there, sort of go on call and stuff for the different studio work. And there's another gentleman that works for them that is able to do that. So he's taken that sort of in the studio role on to do all the maintenance and hands-on stuff. And for a while, I just kind of stayed in the background and did more of the project management stuff. But in this particular stage of everything, I'm transferring even the project management stuff over to him and training him a little bit on that stuff as well. He's getting some training from the company as well. And they're leaning on me more so as a consultant at this point. The doors are open for me to go back if I ever need to or want to as well. So our relationship is really clean. So that's it for yoga, and that kind of means like I'm working on Nick's van right here, which is a side job that's earning me some money. And then I do make a little bit of money with the channel. Obviously, that needs to grow still a bit more so that I can feel more comfortable being on the road full time. Like it'd be great if it just sort of paid for everything and I could just get in my van and go travel and go literally go share the wild or something like that. And I think it's going to get there. So there's that. But in any case, that's it with yoga for now. That's kind of my thoughts on it for the industry side of it. Now for the practice, it's been about 4 years since I was really into my yoga practice. And I had, was the last 2 years of my yoga practice was really intense. I did all my teacher trainings in that period. I was teaching yoga, and I just got, it was almost like I got overloaded with it, and I needed to pull back. My body needed to pull out of it, and I needed to take a break from it. And it's kind of difficult to explain, but it was like the teacher trainings combined with my practice. I've been doing it for like 20 years at that point, 25 years. And I needed to pull back and rethink my approach. Going to a studio and practicing with a teacher in a classroom with a whole bunch of other people didn't make sense to me at that point anymore. And the home practice made more sense. But I wasn't really so much emotionally disciplined to do the home practice as much. I did it for a bit, but not very much. And that's kind of where my practice needs to be more so nowadays is a home practice. I know some of you guys aren't into yoga and some of you are, but these days I've been feeling more and more like getting back into that practice and doing a home practice. And I've been stretching out in Nick's place. I got some yoga mat material down on the floor in the basement. So I've been doing a little bit of that lately. And in my body, I feel like I want to do that more. So I'd say that's coming back into my lifetime or into my daily routines. So that's it for yoga. I mean, yoga is something like I got really into, and I did it like it's ingrained in me. So it's not going to go away. But taking a break from it was important. And the last time I'd taken a break from it was probably 8 years before then. I took a 2-year break from yoga. So anyway, that's it. Um, yeah, yet another adventure. Meant to ask what mount that is that you just mount your magnet on your van counter. That little plate of metal up there is just something that I made. It's in a couple videos back. It was just kind of a segment of a video where I made that. And then the camera rig, there's been a lot of questions about what I use for cameras and stuff, so I put that out there as a video idea to go over all of that. I don't know when I'm going to do that video, but I'm going to cover that shortly, because a lot of you guys have been asking about what I have for cameras and what I use and all that sort of thing. So that'll come up at some point. It'll be a short little video. But yeah. Oh, let's see. I'm going to catch up here in the chat, you guys. Dutch fly fisherman, yeah, he's saying fly fishing is some sort of meditation and yoga. It's all about the state of mind and being zen. Totally agree with you. Fly fishing, like I got into regular fishing as a kid. Like my dad got me into it, and it was just something I really gravitated towards, and I did it a lot. And and then later I got into hunting as I got older and stuff, and I got to be of an age where my dad was like, okay, I'll teach you some of this stuff too. And so that was kind of my exposure to it. But then later with fishing, I got into, I met this fly fisherman in Ontario. His name was Milt McKay. He became my fly fishing mentor, per se, and also a little bit of a life coach at that point in time in my life. And he taught me so much about fly fishing. And the Zen part of it was something that it became more apparent that there was more of a Zen to fly fishing than there was to regular fishing. Although I'd argue that it's in both, and it's in everything that you could do. But there's something kind of I don't know, kind of majestic about fly fishing, where you're casting this line, and it's kind of this, it's almost a feminine activity that you're like, it's got a feminine essence to it. It's just this nice natural, you're moving this line through the air and you're presenting it down to the water to present the fly to a fish and something. And so that would be there's something to it. You can kind of just get into it, and I know you get into it too, Dutch fly fishermen, in that sense. And then it's just kind of this like breathing, you're almost breathing with the water that you're on, because you're studying the hatch, you're looking at the bugs, you're looking at the wind, you're looking at the environment, like you're taking it all in, and you're really just getting right into it, kind of in like a state of mind. There's a Japanese word for that, and it's called satori. There's a bunch of other translations to it in different languages and stuff, which I forget they are. But it's this kind of clarity with the moment sort of thing. So you're present. But you'd achieve that in yoga as well. So in the yoga practice, or the asana practice, which is what most people, when you say the word yoga, it's actually the asana practice, where it's putting your body into different shapes and moving around, stretching and that sort of thing. The idea of the actual word yoga means union, but it has like a whole lot more in it, like, than just the asana practice. The asana practice is just one part of that whole yoga envelope. Like there's a yoga in scholarship and in studying materials. there's a yoga in food, and that kind of goes into the whole Ayurveda thing. Like that's kind of one of the branches or lineages of yoga, or one of the limbs. So there's a lot of different stages and all that, but yeah, you can kind of get Zen and sort of Satori and a lot of that stuff. Another place I also experienced that was in rock climbing. So I got into rock climbing quite a bit when I was in Calgary and in Alberta, and used to climb the limestone, sort of just in the mountains there. And that's where I got really into climbing and found a Zen quality in that, just moving on the rocks. And since then, like I've kind of realized it doesn't matter what kind of sport you like or what thing you're passionate about. I think we all kind of find something we like, and then we get that Zen like experience in what it is that we're doing, even if it's motorcycle maintenance, like that book. I read that book a couple times, but it doesn't matter. It's like that's kind of the gratification that you end up getting. You get so into it. But the thing is you can find that in anything that you do. So whether it be playing hockey, football, riding a bicycle, running, you know, baking cakes in a kitchen, you're going to find the Zen in what you do. And that's where we watch a video on somebody that's doing something that they're just totally in love with, and you can see it, and then you're like, oh, that's awesome. So anyway, that's kind of like that. But yeah, you can get that in anything you want. So it's a matter of just diving into something, learning it, and you get a sense of it, and you kind of move through that awkward stage. This is how I learned something new. And then you start skill development, and you basically learn how to do this new thing. And then you get that sort of down pat, and then you get into sort of like the creative side, where you start getting a little bit creative with the skills that you have. And at that point, then you're really like cultivating a Zen like experience. Although a real Zen master probably would experience Zen right at the very beginning in the awkward stages of that, and be able to be Zen in that. Like a Zen master is just like, we're applying this to your whole life, and I'd love to learn that. So yeah, anyway, kind of got on that tangent, but it's a good tangent to get on. Really like that. Yeah, I'd like to also like to do some more fly fishing this year. I got that little tiny 4-foot rod that I got that my mom gave me, and it was a 8-foot rod, but it had broke on the bottom half, so I fixed it a couple times. It broke a couple times. And so I just took the top of it and I just glued it into the handle and figured I'd try it like that and give it a go. But the line weight doesn't match this little flimsy tip action. I don't know how to change that up. My fly fishing teacher from way back in the day taught me how to cast with a fly line with a broomstick. He says it doesn't matter whether you got, $1,000 Sage fishing rod or G Loomis or whatever. It's like, learn how to cast with a broomstick. It's all in the line, and you just need a stick of some kind. So, and then he says after that you can get into the nicer rods and stuff, and you'll appreciate them more. But yeah, that being said, this is kind of a broomstick mentality with this little rod that I got. But I like it because it fits in the van, so it kind of appeals to me. Yeah. But last year I messed around with it. I got a great big woolly bugger on that right now with like a number 1 hook on it. It's too big of a fly for that setup. Anyway. Oh, Glenn Vanderberg, good to see you in here. Good morning, Glenn. And Bruce Van Life Jr. Hey, buddy. It's good to see you too. And yeah, that's cool, man. And, yeah, people are waking up this morning. Durella, I'd love to get my broken body back into yoga. Miss it so much. Dodged a kangaroo and rolled my vehicle into the bush. Got a ride in the rescue helicopter. Holy moly. All right. Sounds like that was quite a thing to go through. Just to touch on your getting your body back into yoga, just take your time. Like, I would say approach it with a restorative style of yoga at the beginning, and then kind of listen to your body and sort of like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's so hard to teach yoga in a deeper perspective. And I tried to do this when I was teaching yoga, but listen to your body. It's difficult because you're kind of like trying to, in some cases, you're trying to stretch. And so then you're like, am I stretching or am I compressing something? And so what that means is it's like you're in your joint, you're in your movement, and you're like let's say you're stretching something out in your hips and you're trying to open up your hips, and you're in frog pose or something like that, and you're just trying to work with it. And what ends up happening though is you kind of have to develop like almost a mental eye or image and understanding as to like what's going on in the joint. Am I stretching muscles right now? Like, am I opening up, or am I compressing something? And what compression means is it's your skeletal structure, your own individual skeleton per se, and everybody's different. It's like a fingerprint. Your ball hip socket and stuff will have a certain shape to it, and so this joint will have only so much movement in it, and then it gets to a point where it stops. And in some yoga classrooms and stuff like that, like, you can be all up in your head, you can be thinking about something else, you can be listening to the teacher and stuff like that, and you're trying to open up your hips more, but you can't because there's compression in the joint. It's stopping you from going. But you're giving it. You're like, you're picking up the energy of the classroom, and you're just like, I'm gonna keep opening this joint, and it's not going to work. So what ends up happening is you end up compressing that joint more and more. So what that'll do is it'll actually cause a bone response in the bone and cause calcification to the structure of the bone that's being compressed against will start to build up more tissue in response to that compression. And so then it actually will cause your openness to reduce in some senses. But you'll be fighting against it, and you can end up creating injury and stuff like that. And that's how some injuries do happen in the yoga practice. But in any case, with restorative, and your approach is like, restorative is gentle. It's not about going into a crazy stretch or anything like that. It's just about being super gentle on your body and trying to bring some more motion and movement into it. And it's probably one of the most healing parts of the yoga practice. Most people don't do it because it's not I don't know, it's got a different crowd in a sense, which is kind of interesting. Like, it's usually got like, if you go to a classroom and it's like, we're going to teach a power class or a hatha class or a flow or something like that, or a hot yoga, you're going to have younger people in there. Most of the time gravitate to that sort of thing. You get a restorative class and there's going to be less people in it. Usually it's older people, and they're going there because this is a gentler practice on their body. Even if you're young, that practice is actually super good. And so it's and if you're coming out of an accident or something like that and you're trying to recover, like, that's where to start, I would say, is look into restorative yoga. And then you can get into yin yoga, which is going to get into more of, it's more gentle, like restorative, but it's pretty intense because you're stretching in a different way. Instead of like going into it in sort of an intentful, aggressive, like, I'm going to stretch this out with a lot of power and energy into it, you're allowing your body to work with itself to open itself up naturally, hence the name yin. And but that being said, you can still reach compression in that type of yoga practice and then not really recognize it or catch it. But if you have the idea in your head between the difference between stretching something out and having compression, you can ask yourself those questions while you're in your practice and be like, am I compressing a joint? Have I reached my limit, or is there still stretching going on? And then there's a whole debate. I'm not going to get into this one, but that's going to be pressure and pain. And that can be interpreted differently for different individuals too, and it's important to distinctively differentiate between those two in your yoga practice. But I won't get into that. There's a lot of teachers out there that can really explain that. One of my teachers, her name was Rachel Scott. I think she's got a YouTube channel too. Just look up Rachel Scott. She's really kind of a yoga genius when it comes to doing, learning about the anatomy and the skeletal variations between individuals, and how you go to, a yoga class and the teacher's effectively teaching to most of the people, but it doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. But that's how it's kind of set up in a classroom. Anyway, that being said, it's good. Like, if you're into that kind of thing, it's nice to be able to like learn in those environments, make friends, be in the community and stuff like that. But having that home practice where you can really get into it and be with yourself is just, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. That's the part where you really need to practice the yoga. That's where the real yoga practice is with yourself. Thank you, Rachel. Little coffee dollars. Thank you for bringing so much calm positivity to my life. See you soon on Patreon. Thanks, Rachel. Appreciate that. And we'll see you soon on Patreon. Cheers. Anyway, yeah, yoga. Some of you guys are into that, and maybe some of you guys aren't. Obviously, I know some of you come to my channel for different reasons and stuff, and my channel's pretty broad spectrum in some senses, so I think that's why, in some ways, things are kind of slow to grow at times. I think, like, YouTube doesn't know what to do with my channel, and I think some people watch my channel because they're like, oh, it's going to be van life, and then it's like, this guy's going fishing. Like, well, what's the deal? Like, I came here for this reason and stuff like that. I don't want to open up multiple channels either. I just want to do one, and just if it's slow grow, that's okay. It's just, it's more holistic that way, I suppose. Oh, Tennis Power, love MEC. I miss the classes that they offered in BC. Great classes in Winnipeg, but not the same natural resources to do them in. Yeah, MEC had some really good classes for sure. I don't know if they actually, I think they, at this point, they open them up to the public. But yeah, I'm just going to get another coffee here going, because I only technically like had what I consider to be half a coffee, and I need more than that. So there we go. Just bear with me a sec, guys. Hi, Deborah. Good morning. And Patsy, good morning to you too. Yeah, the Broken Nomad only had 2 cups on board, so not fully awake yet. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gearing up for a day. I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on this video that I'm working on right now, guys. So I was gonna put it out this morning, but I might put it out later today. And that'll there's just something I want to tweak to it. Got some more coffee. Shit. Coffee mess. Yep. I'll just leave that alone. I'll sort that out later. Anyway, it's funny. Let's see. Okay, I've got, hang on. I bought a big bag of coffee at Costco, and they have these coffee grinders. I just decided to grind the whole bag and put it in this bag. anyway, it kind of makes it a little simpler for me to make a coffee in the morning. And I got a little coffee grinder, but it's well, this just kind of takes out a step. And I know some coffee snobs out there be like, oh, you should get one of those mill grinders and, you know, grind for your coffee itself. Jared Jones, you're saying, do I still forage for wild vegetation? You bet you, Jared. So the other day I did that crab fishing video. I came back from that, and I was kind of like, it's probably, I'm going to focus on foraging next. So I'm hanging out at Nick's place. I'm working on his van. This is what I'm doing right now. It's like, that's a full-time job over there. I'm going to have these little days where I'll be able to take off and go do something, and the main focus is going to be going out and doing a video on forage for wild edibles. There's a lot of that stuff that's coming up right now, and I definitely want to be able to be making some videos and sharing that stuff with you guys. So that was something that I tried to do a bit last year, and I got totally caught up with other things, and I was kicking myself for it afterwards. I was really upset and unhappy about it. So this year I'm really going to try not to repeat what happened last year. So yeah, there's going to be more of that. I suppose I might even do one, like I might go film one today. We'll see. Today's kind of, I might have a little bit of time to myself today to do that kind of thing. So there's this next step that needs to happen on Nick's van. I'm kind of waiting on him to take care of it. But it sounds like he might also just want to pawn that one off onto me, and so I'd take it over, in which case I could also get into that today. I really want to move his project forward, but we'll see. I'll kind of take a look at what it's like today and maybe make a decision, but I'll probably go out and do some, like, I want to go get some maple blossoms. I see those out right now, so that's what I want to do a video on next. And so you'll just stick around, you'll see it. I'm definitely doing a video on that. Those things are cool. Yeah. Let's see. Joseph Mondu, you're saying you're a fishing freak. Man, me too, buddy. I love fishing. I really do. Gee, I even spilled coffee ground in my coffee cup. I'm gonna drink my coffee out of this thing. So let's see. That thing is just the bottom of this AeroPress thing that Nick gave me. So I'd do this, I'd squish this right into my coffee cup, but the bottom of this thing is too small and it'd just dive right into the coffee cup. Yeah. Yeah, Cherry Bomb Granny, I enjoy it all. Love your fishing too. Yeah, I love my fishing too. So I've been thinking, like, if I don't do a big road trip this year, like cross Canada kind of thing. Last year I came to the island and I got here in the summertime and I really wanted to catch a salmon. And so this year I might, because of gas prices and all that sort of stuff, I might focus on more of the salmon fishing and try and do some more of that. So we'll see. There's probably going to be some of that later this summer. But yeah, I'd love to do some of that for sure. The Aquinator, thank you, Aquinator. Long-time listener, first-time caller, LOL. Aquinator gave me a super chat, you guys. Thanks for being an amazing human and inspiration. I wish you nothing but the best. Thanks, man, or woman, the Aquinator. Really appreciate that. Cheers. And right after that, Jan Shoemaker saying, come sturgeon fishing. Definitely. Okay, so a friend of mine, she's got, I'm trying to remember, I think she's got a little YouTube channel, actually. She's trying to set me up with a sturgeon fishing guide for the Fraser River, which would be amazing. So all my life when I was a little kid, I wanted to catch a sturgeon. I did a lot of fishing in the Ottawa River, and the odd time I would see one surface, like it'd just be this gigantic fish that blew my mind, and I was just like, oh my God, there's sturgeon out here, and I'd be like, I got to catch a sturgeon. And sometimes I went out and I just tried to target sturgeon. I never caught one, but I've always been interested in it. So being able to go out on the Fraser River and doing that would be, it'd be kind of like doing something on my bucket list, and I'd love to share that and do that. So I think that's going to come up. That'd be so much fun. It's just, that would be just like a super powerful experience, I think. Yeah. Thank you, Brenda. Thanks for the super chat, Brenda. Right on. I like doing this morning. This is a nice way to wake up and spend my Sunday with you guys. Ramblin' Rocketeer. Hey, Ramblin' Rocketeer, you guys. What am I cooking next? Well, in the next video, I do taco salad. So that's going to be in the next one, which I'm done, by the way. I'm finished the edit, although I'm going to make a tweak to it. Maybe that'll come out later today, but it'll be coming out very soon. Taco salad, that's what I cook next. I think today, that was several days ago. So today I might have a taco salad again, because that was so good. Yeah. Let's see. Primordial wolf. My head is like sunshine in the AM to see. LOL. Thanks, man. I appreciate the humor in that one. That's funny. Hey Joseph, I've been converting. So this is unknown 50 cent. Hey Joseph, I've been converting an old Sprinter 2000 Ford. Your build videos always motivate to keep going. Right on, bro. I love that older Sprinter model. I almost bought one. I was looking at a Dodge, and I think it was a 2006, so it would have been just a little bit newer than that one. But I was pretty close to getting into a Sprinter a while back, and then I ended up getting this van instead. So, but yeah, building. There's going to be a bunch of videos coming out where I'm going to be building out Nick's Sprinter van. So that'll kind of maybe apply to a bunch of people that are Sprinter owners and stuff like that. But there's a lot of just van building stuff in there that I think is going to be relative to other van building projects and stuff, no matter what you're putting it towards or what you're working on. So, but that'll be kind of like more build content sort of stuff. I might start a separate playlist for his van. Yeah. Yeah. Tannis Power. See, getting a second cup, bro. Love that phone magnet as well. Second cup of coffee. I should have had a magnet for my coffee so I don't spill it everywhere here. It would have been better. Anyway. Oh, sweet, man. Sandra. My 5-year-old grandson loves watching you cast out the crab net, bringing it back and seeing the crabs. That's awesome, man. Oh, man. I could just see that. That is super cool. I feel like such a kid when I bring in those crab traps. Like it's like this, bringing in this thing. It's like, oh, what's gonna be this time? It's like it's really exciting. And then of course they're all like, and I'm trying to grab the camera and position it somewhere so I can kind of take them out of the net and decide what to do with them and stuff like that. But it's pretty fun, really fun. I'm so glad I like picked that up and started trying that out. I got the guys at the store where I bought the traps from. They're starting to watch my my videos, so that's pretty cool too. But yeah, there's one chap in there. His name's Colton, and so he gives me a lot of good tips and stuff. for the area and such like that. That which is really nice. And that store is called Trotac Marine in Victoria. That's my favorite store in the Victoria area, flat out. Love that store. Love the people that work in there. Those guys are like, they're so on the ball. Like, you go in that store, it's just like, it's service, service, service. Like, there's some dudes in there that they've got like a core group of people working in there that are hyper focused, like service oriented and stuff. It's a real pleasure. And it's kind of like a well, maintained, well oiled machine, that store. So it's pretty cool. If you ever need marine stuff, wiring, stuff for your van build, if you're in the Victoria area or the southern part of the island, Trotac Marine, it's a pretty cool place, and they got a lot of fishing stuff in there as well. So, Stephen Warren, you're asking, what do I like to do to cheer myself up? When I'm kind of in a funk, I like some quiet time sometimes, or a conversation with a good friend or someone. Like, sometimes, depending on what kind of funk I'm in, I might think of someone specifically and see if I can get in touch with them. It doesn't always work out though, so sometimes I just kind of have to be in it, and in some ways that's almost healthier, because then I'm focusing on what the emotion is and what's underneath and all that sort of stuff, and I'm able to, in some senses, breathe into it and maybe integrate it a bit more. But sometimes it's helpful to have those conversations with people. Aside from that though, like, definitely going out on a fishing trip or going out for a walk or something like that really helps as well. I don't often just go for a walk though. Like, I like there to be like a random walk just to go for a walk. I don't do that very much. Like, I like there to be some purpose to it. So if I'm going out to look for something, that makes it better. And of course, the whole walk is beautiful, but I don't know, I like when I have something attached to it, in the sense that I'm going to go look for something, whether it's going to be like a particular plant, or I'm going to walk to a store or something like that. Or if I'm going to go walk and see a sunset or something like that, having some sort of purpose to it just appeals to me, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what I do to cheer myself up, pretty much. A drive is nice too. Like, I used to do that when I was younger, not so much nowadays, because as much as I love driving, guys, and I love going for a drive just to like unwind. I find that that's very therapeutic. I just haven't done it a whole lot in my later adult life, because I just sort of reason like maybe it wasn't the best use of fossil fuels, and like, in some senses it is, but then it's a privileged thing to just turn the key and go for a drive. And I kind of recognize, like, oh, I could do that. Like, I could, but then I'm burning, fossil fuels for no particular reason. And so I kind of self-criticize myself for that, and say, well, maybe there's another way I can do something that's maybe a little bit less wasteful, I suppose. But on the other hand, there's times when, that can be extremely therapeutic. So if I'm going on a long road trip somewhere and I've got a destination that I'm going to, that can be incredibly enjoyable too, because I haven't kind of gotten behind the wheel and done a drive and had that sort of like almost therapeutic moment, or I suppose experience, for a while. And so when I get behind the wheel and I do that, it's just kind of like it's all that much better. It's just like, wow, okay, this is awesome. And that's kind of interesting too, because you can, when you really like something and you do it all the time, it becomes, you almost lose a sort of appreciation for it, and it's just kind of like, it's just something you do, and then it loses its luster. But if you moderate and you kind of do it sporadically, then it remains special, and then that can be really valuable too. So, My friend Lonnie in Vancouver, he feels that way about Montreal smoked meat sandwiches. He's like, I love them so much, I could eat them all the time. But he says I purposely like maybe only have one once every month or 2 months or something like that. And he says then when he bites into it, he's just like, oh man, this is so good. But you know, when he there was a period where he had them more often. He said, yeah, they lost their luster. So. But yeah, I used to go have a smoked meat sandwich with Lonnie in Vancouver. Go to this. There was a couple places we went. One of them's closed down, but the only place we go to now is Siegel's Bagels on Cornwall Street. They're kind of a 24-hour bagel joint, but they make a smoked meat sandwich. So if you're in the Vancouver area, you're looking for a smoked meat sandwich, that place is pretty good. And then there's a spin-off of them, or like a franchise of them in Granville Island, and then there's a spin-off of them up in North Vancouver called like the Salt or something like that. But yeah, Primordial Wharf, meet you at Triple O's for sunshine breakfast. I've always looked at that Triple O's there, and I've never gone in. I've always gone there and got a smoked meat sandwich when I go to that little place. But I was kind of like, oh, maybe one day. Nowadays, I wouldn't do it because I'm just like, no, I'm on the whole keto train at this point, and I'm just trying to basically get myself in order physically and sort of bodily, improve my gut flora and all that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna keep growing in that direction for a while, and then I'd probably just do that for a bit. I don't know. It could be a while before I have a burger at a shop again. I do love burgers, though, man. They're really good. But yeah, could be a while. I don't even have smoked meat sandwiches anymore because of the bread. So, hey, Wander, thanks for the super chat. Right on, bro. Thank you. Yeah. Colleen Sonfield. Joseph, did you ever eat that seaweed? I live in Maine where my parents live on a reserve in New Brunswick, and we enjoyed dulse but can't get it here. I haven't eaten that yet, so I'll show it to you, and I'll share a little bit of story behind it so far. So here it is. It's dried out right now, and I haven't tried it out yet. So I'm gonna try it out. I was having problems drying this stuff out. So what happened was I hung it out to dry in the sun, and it mostly dried out, and then it started the rain was coming in. I knew it was coming, so I put it in the garage before the rain came. And I guess there was a lot of moisture in the air, so the whole thing got all wet anyways, even though it's dry inside of there. And then I was like, oh, that's too bad. So then Nick mentioned he had a dehydrator. I set that up. I put it all in the dehydrator. I dehydrated it, and it was really crispy, like more crispy than this is right now. And turned off the dehydrator, and I thought I could leave it out there, but then it got all wet again. I guess there's so much moisture in the air out here that things get wet, and it was kind of smelling. And I thought, I don't know. So I dehydrated it again, and it's now dehydrated again, but it doesn't have the best smell. I don't know if I messed it up, so I don't know. I'll probably give it a try, but I might have to do it all over again. So that's it with the kelp. Obviously I need to learn how to do it properly and stuff like that and figure it out. So that's okay. I was talking earlier, when you take on like a new skill or you're learning something new, like drying seaweed or something like that, it's a really, that was my first time using a dehydrator too. You kind of fumble around a little bit, so that's all right. So yeah, I'll give it a try. I'm gonna boil up some water, probably put that in a video, maybe the next video, and just give it a go and see how it is. If it doesn't turn out very good, I don't know. I'll just I got some store-bought stuff in my drawer here. Maybe I'll just use that if that doesn't work out. Yeah. Um, Jennifer, yeah, we'll see you later. Say you gotta go. Keep up the great work. Hugs from Idaho. Thanks, Jennifer. You take care. Um, yeah. Raquel, love yous. Thank you. Sending love from California. I love your videos when you come to the U.S. Question mark. Um, thanks for that. I don't know when I'm gonna go to the U.S. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna go to Indonesia before I go to the U.S. I would think. So it's I really don't know. Hard to say. I would like to come visit the U.S. though. I'd like to spend some time down there. There's some places I'd like to check out and some people I'd like to go visit and see and stuff like that. So we'll see. It's in there somewhere. I'm definitely going to do it at one point. Yeah. Oh, Vic Burns just sat down with a coffee. Right on, bro. Good morning to you. Yeah. Thanks, Wander. Thanks for that super chat, buddy. So, anyway, I think I might be running out of things to talk about this morning, you guys. And that being said, yeah, if there's any burning questions, you guys, I'll give you a couple minutes to bring them up, but might be moving on here soon. Primordial Wolf, I got topics. LOL. Yeah, what could I say? I don't know. My head's really in Nick's van, so that's kind of like what I'm focused on next. And I'm probably gonna go have a chat with him here this morning and see what his plan is for the day. Then Monday morning, I'm gonna be jumping on this thing full tilt, so it's gonna be shooting a video again and yeah, getting right back into his van build. So I'm gonna try to move through his build as quickly as I can. Mm-hmm. Okay, a couple of you guys are asking about meetups and stuff. Steve Warren, can I meet me in Victoria? Primordial Wolf, do I do meetups? I haven't done a meetup, and I haven't. Yeah, I haven't done a meetup. I haven't done too many meetups of any kind. I suppose there's something I like about being. I got to break into that a little bit, guys. It's breaking through a little bit of a discomfort of mine, I suppose, to be totally honest with you. And so I'll touch on that in a little sense. Like there's definitely an anxiety that I have inside of myself when it comes to like groups of people. And in this capacity, it's kind of different because I'm in my own space. I'm with you guys, but we're through this lens and stuff like that. And there's almost a sense of security that goes with that, and that I'm in control and I can kind of be like, okay, I need to take a break, and then I can just turn things off, and that's that. When I'm in a group, I guess there's some social ineptitudes, or not. That's not like, I wouldn't say ineptitudes, like awkwardness, almost a sense of social maturity or something like that. Like I spent a lot of time when I was a kid by myself out fishing and stuff like that. I was really comfortable being on my own. And whenever I'm with a group of people, I tend to get shy, and I sort of withdraw myself a little bit. So I've been to a couple of Chrome, like Van City Van Life meetups and stuff like that, but I found myself more comfortable sort of like being on the sidelines of that sort of thing. And I just, I imagine myself doing my own meetups, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm like, how's that gonna work? Because I'm gonna kind of want to be on the sidelines of it, but it's you guys be coming there to come and see me anyway, and so I fear like I would tire within like a couple hours or something like that, and I'd be like, okay, that's it. I need to go, kind of rest. But I haven't developed a real good way to sort of say that and be, to kind of claim what I need, so to speak, in a group setting and sort of say, guys, I need to go. Like I just don't know how to. I don't have a lot of experience doing that sort of thing, so I find it difficult to say no. I usually just kind of stick around, but then I get really tired, and then I get upset with myself because I stuck around longer than I really wanted to. So that's something I got to work on within myself, and I'm afraid that I might have to face that and deal with that if I do a meetup, and I don't want to like do that necessarily, and kind of be in that vulnerable place so much with you guys. But that's something I got to work through in my life one way or another. So maybe it's going to come in the form of meetups and stuff like that. And I can even feel that way on a one-on-one meetup with somebody too, where it's just like after a little while, it's like I gotta go, and so I know I need time to myself and stuff like that. So sometimes I can be this guy that wants to be nice, and I'll be nice and I'll stay there, almost like being polite, even though I really want to move on. And I haven't learned how to say no, or how to like have a clean boundary with that, so to speak. So it's definitely something I got to work on, and I know where it comes from. It comes from not feeling good enough or worthy enough, and that's something I've been working on my whole life. And this is an area of thought these days that I've been spending a lot of time thinking about while I'm doing all this other stuff. It's just something I've been looking at in the background, and I want to work on it and integrate some of this stuff that's caused that sort of thing. So it's a complicated mess. It's a whole psychology field in psychology with myself, and it'll probably be good to maybe work with it with a therapist or a counselor or something like that. This stage, I don't really have the means or the finances to go and hire somebody for that. So I've got a lot of tools and resources at my disposal. I've got YouTube videos, I've got books, and I've got all the counseling curriculum that I went through in the past, so I can dive back into that and continue to sort of unpack some of this stuff. And I got some friends too that I can work with on this sort of thing. But that's kind of the long-winded answer to that, you guys. So I mean, I'm apprehensive, but I definitely I'm going to do it at some point in time. It's definitely been like a bit of a, I want to say a little bit of a head fuck to start sharing YouTube and putting myself in this position, because I put myself squarely in a position to face this kind of thing, which is great, but it's also scary at the same time too. So yeah, but eventually I'll do some sort of meetup. Primordial Wolf, I like your idea of a beach party with bonfires or stuff like that. That would be awesome. I think that would be good, especially if yeah, that sounds more inviting. I could do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's kind of what that's my thoughts on the whole meetups thing, and that sort of thing. I see a lot of chats came in there while I was doing that and talking about that. So but yeah, something like that would be really cool. Like it'd be really neat to do like let's say I went out and did a nice fishing trip and I caught a bunch of salmon or something like that. It'd be a nice thing to do, like some sort of like salmon barbecue meetup or something like that, where you guys actually could watch a video of me out there catching all these fish, and then we could meet up and share the catch, so to speak. Like that'd be kind of nice, some veggies and all that kind of thing. I think salmon's pretty approachable for most people. It'd be different if I went out and got a deer. I don't think half of you would be interested in that. So that just brings up triggers for some of you guys, and I get that. So yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, Primordial, if you're going to be my new brother from another mother. We are brothers from another mother already. Appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, just stay in touch, you guys. When I feel comfortable enough to open up, I will, and I'll do that sort of stuff. As for private meetups and stuff like that, right now, I'm not doing a whole I'm not really not taking any of that on because I'm swamped. And I need to keep a certain amount of space and personal time to myself. But once Nick's van's done and I kind of able to have a little bit more breathing room and I can unpack some of these deeper feelings that I have going on, I'll probably open up a bit more to that sort of thing. I just don't want to get caught up in necessarily new relationships and stuff like that I can't maintain or afford to keep or stuff like that, because I don't have a lot of latitude for that sort of thing right now in my life, and I really have to work on my relationship with myself, and I want to show that on videos and in the channel too, because I think that's an important thing to share. It's really important that we have a good relationship with ourselves, and once you got yourself sorted out and you can kind of be in a balanced place, and it's learning how to have balanced relationships at the same time. But I'd love to meet you guys too and hang out. I'm sure, I know there's a lot of good quality people that we're hanging out together here, and I'd love to hang out with a lot of you. So I don't know, it'll come around. Anyway, that's it. Wanderer, thanks again for another super chat, Wanderer. I keep renaming myself. LOL. I was Robin Lynn and decided to change. I love all your content, no matter what you post. Oh, thanks, Robin. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, man, I'm loving making this stuff, and I'm loving filming it. I'm loving sharing it, and I keep thinking about how to change it and improve things and make things better for you guys and create more value. So that'll be coming, slowly. That'll kind of trickle out and stuff like that. But anyway, Yusung Hero, he's asking how long I'm going to be done before my friend's van build. I don't know. I look at his van build, and I think in some ways, if I were to build out a Sprinter van, I'd say if I premeditated on it and I had an idea what I was doing, I could probably build one of those things out in maybe a month or let's say 2 months. But with Nick's van, I'm working around his build in a sense, and I'm kind of going on that. So it involves a certain matter of marriage with thought processes and stuff like that. So there's a few other things to work out. And then again, it's also my first time working on one of these vans, but it is a pleasure working on that van over my van. It's a lot easier. A lot of the lines are easier and stuff like that. But that being said, I'm hoping by the end of May we're done. But there's a lot of work to do in his van. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being longer than that. But I've told Nick I'm done at the end of May. I don't want to. I'm not going to be here. I came here last summer to work on his van at that point, just to do a 5-day electrical job, and it ended up taking 6 weeks. It just didn't feel good, because I spent my whole summer here and I didn't want to be here for my whole summer, and it was just a matter of juggling things. He had stuff that he needed to sort out before I could get going, and then he needed the van in between everything. So there was a lot of waiting games and stuff going on and stuff. And I enjoyed their company. I enjoyed hanging out here, but there was a lot of things I wanted to do that summer that I missed out on. And this summer, I don't want to miss out on that stuff. So I told him the end of May, that's it. So yeah. Oh yeah, Primordial Wolf. The best part is when you get kidnapped and made to go skydiving. That would be pretty. Yeah, that'd be wild. I've never done that. That'd be pretty cool, bro. Yeah. Anyway, That's it. I'll think about doing a meetup, you guys. Maybe that's something I'll do this summer at some point. Um, I'll kind of work up the balls to do that, and then you know, I'll put something like that together. Uh, yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that's it. I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm gonna get this day started. I'm finishing up this coffee of mine, and yeah, I want to get out and move my body and run around, do some things. So stay tuned. I got a video that I just finished editing, so that's I just got to tweak it a little bit. I'm just thinking of adding some voiceover components to it, so I might do that, and then I'll put it out. It might come out later today, or maybe in the next couple days or something like that. But much love to all you guys, and you know, and if you're watching this on replay, much love to you too, and all that stuff. So that's it, guys. We'll see you soon.